Howdy folks, Eric here, back with another standard brew. This time, Rakdos midrange featuring Jecht, Reluctant Guardian. An interesting card from the Final Fantasy set. Jecht is a 4-mana 4/3 menace, and whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you may exile it, then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. Flips into Braska's Final Aeon. I did not know that's what it's called, but it is. And it immediately causes each opponent to discard a card and you draw a card. Does that on the next main phase as well, and then finally forces opponents to sacrifice creatures. But otherwise, it's just a big 7/7 menace that pretty quickly closes out the game. So why are we building around Jecht? How do we benefit from this kind of clunky 4 mana, doesn't come in and immediately do anything, pretty vulnerable to removal? These are all the downsides, right? But what are the upsides? Well, the upsides are, if it connects, if it manages to deal combat damage to your opponent, it flips into a pretty strong effect. So the best way to enable this card is just to give it haste and sneak it through while your opponent's tapped out. Even if they have one creature, Jecht has Menace, so that's not really a problem. And we have a couple ways of accomplishing this. The main way is with Summon Brynhildr, another card from Final Fantasy. It's a 2 mana, another saga, and when it enters, you exile the top card of your library. You can play it as long as you've put a lore counter on that saga this turn. So for the next 3 turns, as long as it survives, you have the opportunity to play it. And then it's got its second ability, Gestalt mode. When you cast a creature spell this turn, it gains haste until the end of turn. So pretty nice curve out. You go turn 2. Say you go like turn 2, Fear of Missing Out. Turn 3, Summon Brynhildr, play the land off of it, theoretically, and then you hit your next land drop and swing with a hasty Jecht. Pretty solid. The other way of accomplishing this is Coalstoke Gearhulk. We're only on 2. It's pretty expensive. Another sort of slept on Rakdos card, I think. It's not that good, but it works really nicely with Jecht because it enters, return target creature card with mana value 4 or less from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control with a finality counter, gains Death Touch, gains haste, gains menace, and at the beginning of your next end step, exile that creature. Well, the nutty thing is, if you reanimate Jecht and manage to connect with it, when you flip it to when you exile Jecht to transform it, we no longer have to worry about the finality counter, so you just get to permanently keep your flipped Jecht. And that pretty much closes out the game a lot of the time. You get another draw, they have to discard, you have a huge board. It all works out really nicely. And other than that, it's a pretty mid-rangey sort of graveyard-oriented deck list. 4 Fomos, a couple Moorlands, couple Qarsi Revenants, couple Tursas, couple Unstoppable Slashers, just to give us some options for different matchups. We're also on a couple Carnage, aka Desecrex, Gift of Servitude. This guy works nicely with our Tursas and our Fomos, and can bring back like Unstoppable Slasher, which then can stick around. Just a solid other sort of value mid-range piece. Not too difficult to mayhem it with our Bitter Triumphs and our Fear of Missing Out. We're also on 4 Overlord of the Baelmerk, a really nice solid haste target for our Summon Brynhildr. A lot of our creatures are, so say you go just like Summon Brynhildr, hasty Qarsi Revenant, or hasty Unstoppable Slasher. These curve outs are really, really powerful. And then a bunch of removal just to kind of bind everything together and make it work. 4 Burst Lightning seems pretty good right now, I think, against the like Badgermole Cub decks. 4 Bitter Triumph, just the best removal card in black, I think. And a couple Strategic Betrayal. Just solid, flexible, relevant outside of creature matchups. As for our land base, we're on 23 lands. We curve out pretty low. We do want to hit our land drops, but with our 4 Summon Brynhildrs and 4 Fear of Missing Out, it's pretty easy to at least get up to 3 mana and come online. playing the full 4 Rakdos Theater because we have so much value from our graveyard, and one Restless Fence, 2 Soulstone Sanctuary. As for our sideboard, we're on 3 Soul Guide Lantern, classic, 2 Abrades, 3 Withering Torment. I like the Withering Torment here because Rest in Peace is quite good against our deck. It also deals with like Authority of the Consuls, which also kind of shuts down what we're trying to do as far as the hasty element of things goes. 4 Duress, 4 grindier matchups where our removal is not as relevant, or combo matchups, etc., etc. And 3 Day of the Black Sun for those go wide creature matchups. Stop some early aggression, or just cast this for like 6 and completely wipe the board. And that's our Rakdos Jecht list. Gonna jump into some ranked matches here. Still climbing on the ladder after this recent ranked reset. This is a great deck to climb with, I think, because I think it's just very fun. It's not like could this get to Mythic? I really think it could. It's like a really classic 50-50 sort of deck list, I think. The hasty Jecht piece is not that great into like the go wide matchups, but we're able to transition into more of a control-y style list out of the sideboard. And I think it's just really satisfying to hit people with Jecht. You'll see. I think you may come to appreciate it. I think you're supposed to keep this 1 Rakdos Theater, a bunch of things to do on 2 mana on the draw. Pretty likely that we'll hit our next land here. If I was Aspiring Spike, maybe I'd get out the geometric calculator, but I'd say over the course of the next couple turns, it's like 80% probably, based on what I've seen him do. Okay, a little unlucky. Still have a chance here. And even if we don't, if they're off to sort of a slow start, we're not in a horrible position as long as we get it in the next few turns. What are these little guys here for? I hear there's an avatar map with a cabbage merchant stall, where if you break the cabbage cart, you get a little cabbage buddy. I don't know if I've paid attention well enough to see that quite yet. Alright, there's our land. Pretty sweet. Let's go ahead and lead on the FOMO. This is a little better into... it's a little better to lead on the FOMO here because we can summon Brynhildr next turn to try to see a land and play it immediately. If we played Brynhildr there right away and we hit a land and they kill Brynhildr, then we no longer have access to that land. Let's go ahead and try to just get our land drop here. Okay, no problem. Still kind of going off. Got a lot of 2-drops to work with. We have our Jecht. We have many Brynhildrs to probably give it haste. Our opponent's not off to too fast of a start. Doing some kind of cool mono black thing, very different. Hostile Investigator. No blocks. Just gotta hit our land drop here. We'll play the Brynhildr off the top. Gains haste. Okay, sweet. Go ahead and swing in. No reason not to, I think. Probably discarding a FOMO here. Yeah, FOMO seems fine. It's a little bad against their Hostile Investigator on the field here, so... They're swinging out. They're not swinging out. So maybe we just haste a Qarsi Revenant and try to get our life total back up here. I think I like that play. Missing our land drop again. Solid, solid. Qarsi Revenant is a lot better when it has haste. Just like a guaranteed lightning helix that they have to remove. Oh, my camera. Never know what to do with this guy. They crack a clue. What does that mean? Our Brynhildr is going to die, but it could still give haste to Jecht, so I think we'll just keep it around. I think we can afford to do that. And if they remove anything, it'll likely be the Qarsi Revenant here. Okay. Raucous Theater. We can play the FOMO, give him a clue, but that's not a big deal. We can discard the Raucous Theater. Instant creature, enchantment. I guess we could just discard like the Colstoke Gear Hulk, save our land, give FOMO haste, and then double swing with Qarsi Revenant. I kind of like that here. Pretty easy to turn on our Delirium in this deck. Yeah, definitely would rather just play a second 2-mana effect here. Go ahead and swing in. Trading off their freebooter. I wonder if they have like a 5-mana play. Now I could hold up this Bitter Triumph, but I'm at a pretty comfortable life total. I think I'd rather get my Summon Brynhildr back here and have access to Bitter Triumph next turn. Desecrax is kind of interesting, actually. Yeah, let's go with the Desecrax, because we can activate its Mayhem off of the Bitter Triumph here. Kind of really put ourselves crazy ahead in this game. We have so many good targets for the Desecrax. Okay, Raven Eagle. Gonna start hitting some stuff in our graveyard, but we just have way too many creatures in there. I guess they take us off. Try to take us off Delirium? Nope. Okay, well, we're feeling pretty good. We have access to no haste right now. Bitter Triumph, the Hostile Investigator. Probably Bitter Triumph the Eagle. Keep them from blocking here. Then we're live to like a Burst Lightning. Do this before combat. They get a clue, but who cares? They're on a very sort of mid-rangey list. It's kind of interesting. Let's just go with the Summon Brynhildr. Try to put this thing away. Saving our land drop. Might just hit a land drop off of this here. I guess there's not a reason to do this before combat because Mayhem is not madness. I can do this. I can discard this main phase and then attack and then second main phase play it. I'm down to swing in with the FOMO. I think getting a guaranteed extra attack here off the Qarsi Revenant is better than waiting. Because once again, we're just live to a Burst Lightning, which we have 4 of. Qarsi Revenant, kind of an all-star this game. Feeling pretty good. 19-1. Hasty Jecht, possibly coming up. Phoenix Fleet Airship. Okay, sweet. Sweet. It's all starting to make a little more sense. Not exactly sure why they would choose to show this to me when they're pretty much guaranteed to die here. They're just dead in the air. Oh, I forgot they have a Phoenix Fleet airship. Oops. That's okay. Kind of a goof on my part. Make them, here's what it was. Made them block, and now I have access to the Qarsi Revenant counters here. Let's go ahead and just cast an Overlord. Grab our Luis, I suppose. Play a Theater. Dodge a Mountain. We're still fine. Hey, listen, sometimes you goof, and you still win the game. You know? That's just how Magic works sometimes. It's not always the better player that comes out on top. But our deck is kind of sweet. A little sweeter than what they're doing, I think. Just let you have it. Don't want them to control no suspected skeletons. Okay, well, they get to do that anyway. Okay, sweet. Beseech seems good with the case of the stashed skeleton here. Now, they see the Luis, though, right? They have one treasure. Burst Lightning. Okay. Luis for one. Sweet. A good game one in the books. Showed off some decent stuff. No hasty Jecht. No hasty Jecht. I think we probably want the... At the very least, we want the Abrades. Possible we want Duress. They have a lot of like non-creature permanents, and there's a good chance they're on the case of the other skeleton enchantment. And I think the best way to deal with that is just Duress. Probably can cut a couple strategic betrayals. Doesn't seem that good against what they're doing. Unstoppable Slasher seems solid. Go down a couple Burst Lightnings. Go down... I think Tursa's decent. Maybe cut a Desecrex, cut a Holstoke Gearhulk. They're pretty likely to bring in Graveyard Hate. Specifically like Strategic Betrayal. Which could be less good against Desecrex, but it's like... or it could be pretty good against Desecrex, Holstoke, but it's not particularly good against Overlord, so pretty happy to keep the 4 Overlords in. And maybe they're just on Leyline of the Void. In this kind of list with the Besiege the Mirror, that could be interesting. Okay. I mean, solid hand. Lanes and spells. There's the Leyline of the Void. Pretty good. Pretty good. Doesn't really stop our Overlord. Oh, yes it does. Yes it does. It very much stops the Overlord. Okay. So we'll bring in the Bitter Triumphs next turn, or next match. We can still just kind of present a pretty solid creature plan here. I think we ditch the first Overlord and then plan to maybe just cast the other one as a clunky 5-drop. Just start hitting them. Go, Tursa! I think I'm gonna go... let's just get rid of the Bitter Triumphs. Clunky 5-drop Overlord is still a 5/5. And they're not really playing anything worth removing quite yet. They could get the airships going next turn, but they don't have any way to crew as well. Demolition Field, that's cool. Another outlet for their... or another way to trigger their airships in mono black. Killing off Tursa. They're pretty likely to airship me here, which presents a pretty fast clock, actually. Could be tough to come back from that one. 3 cards in hand. Might not have it. I have Beseech instead. Nice. Not a whole lot I can do here now. Not a whole lot I can do here now. Jecht. Okay. Well, if they don't have an answer for the Jecht right now, this could be pretty sweet. And I can Burst Lightning and Airship once they all become creatures to at least save myself from dying outright. They have removal for Jecht. It might be game over here. Okay. Alright. They kind of had it all. Still don't have a sack outlet for their ships, though. I think I'd rather just play an Overlord here and put some pressure on. They could just have 2 swamps in hand. Greedy Freebooter. Alright. They crew a ship to swing. Yeah, they need to be able to block here. See what we have on top. Another Overlord. I mean, I don't think it's right to pass up on action. Arrest them here, see if they have Beseech. I guess if they had a Beseech, they would have used it. Okay. Another airship. Go ahead and pass. Don't want to let them block. So let's assume they draw nothing but swamps the rest of the game. Well, that's not swamps. It also doesn't do a whole lot. Oh, actually, Leyline. Okay, nice little combo here. They get to keep their graveyard around. They get a clue. Yeah. I don't think I'm winning this one. They still don't get to sacrifice anything this turn. So they hit me for 4. Sorry, they hit me for 8. I hit them for 5. They go to 12. They hit me for 8 again. I mean, maybe they just mess up. Maybe they just mess up here and try to hit them. Hold my mountain. Demolition Field. Gaining an extra life puts them out of an extra Burst Lightning sort of range. Really need them to tap both of these and swing. Okay. Leaving a blocker back. Untap. We draw. What do we need to draw? I don't know. Maybe a braid could keep us in it for another turn. No, we're dead. All right. Gotta be able to beat the ley line here. Go with some Withering Torments. The rest still seems pretty good. Let's cut some of our graveyard dependent stuff. Just in case they have the ley line again. Feeling pretty confident if we open with like a, yeah, Withering Torment. All right, seems good. Actually, still not sure on these Bitter Triumphs. Maybe I should be cutting these in game 2 against this matchup. Not killing a whole lot that we care about. Okay, Tursa to help sculpt our hand next turn. No ley line off the top. Sorry, no ley line to start with. I think we have a pretty good shot here. Overlord. Whiffs. Interesting. Yeah, they don't have a ton of targets, do they? I'm going to just get rid of the lands. There's a pretty good chance we just draw another land anyway. Try to see some more action here. Summon Brynhildr is a really good draw. I think probably one of our better cards in this matchup overall. Form of card advantage, doesn't rely on the graveyard at all. Helps us keep the pace up with some hasty flyers or Jecht or whatever. Let's lead on the Brynhildr here. We might want to burst lightning the... Okay, nice. Might want to burst lightning the freebooter. Although that gives them access to... I think we want the Overlord. That gives them access to a treasure. Probably best to save the burst lightning for their face. Because even if they like go Phoenix Fleet Airship next turn, they still have to deal with pretty strong hasty board coming up. Stab. That takes away the haste element. Stable Passage makes sense. Beseech. Okay, cool. Is the airship enough, though? Not really sure. I think I might just go Overlord, grab my Summon Brynhildr, see if I maybe hit another land drop. Okay, so they can crew the airship. Unless I burst lightning right here. That's probably right. Just keep them off of being able to crew this at all. Keep something on top. Or we could play FOMO right now. I think I really want the haste, and I also get to swing with Tursa. This also happens to be a deck where you actually get to like trigger Tursa's ability. So I'm gonna swing with Tursa first in case I hit something relevant. Land drop, that's pretty nice. So we go land drop. Maybe we just play a Qarsi Revenant here. We already hit our land drop, so Brynhildr's not doing a whole lot there. We have good removal. Try to keep them off of blocks. Raven Eagle, pretty solid. Cool list, cool list. Avenger of the Fallen. We did see that game one. I didn't really think too much of it. Mobilize does not trigger the airships, unfortunately. For them. So they have blockers. They have a way to turn on their airships next turn. Play our Brynhildr, see where that gets us. Try to hit another land so we can hold up Bitter Triumph. Okay. Play a FOMO. Discard FOMO. Not a whole lot we can do right meow. I think I don't think I just give up Qarsi Revenant. They have basically infinite ways to sack. Maybe I should have thought about bringing in Day of the Black Sun as a way of like actually just breaking up these kinds of boards. It might just be best to like take them off of an extra airship right now, because then they won't be able to like actually have a full board of airships next turn. And if we're able to get a couple swings in over the course of the next couple turns, maybe we can draw into a Luis for extra reach, or maybe some burst lightnings. They have a fountain port they can make a fish to crew with. A braid, nice. Okay. So actually we can, if they make a fish and crew up 2 airships, we have a braid and withering torment to kill both of the airships and get through like a lot of damage, and maybe cast some stuff from our graveyard off of this Tursa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a land. There's a chance we want to, I guess we hold the land. Everything else we could do outside of, like, in our second main phase. Let's just go ahead and swing. We get to trigger Tursa twice here. Actually feeling pretty good about that Abrade draw. Doubt they just block with the Avenger of the Fallen, but if they do, I can just kill it. Make a fish. Tursa hits a land. Block with the fish. Okay, let's keep our Tursa alive here. They played this pretty well, I think. They're going to crew up another airship. No, they did not crew up another airship. Well, I'm gonna take another attack with Tursa then, in case I hit a relevant card from our graveyard. Yeah, pretty relevant. So now, when they go to block, we abrade the blocker, keep our Tursa alive. And then we go Mountain FOMO. Threaten even more Tursa plays next turn. Another Bitter Triumph, nice. They have to probably activate this Demolition Field this turn to get their ships online. But if we can take the ships offline... It's going to be a tricky one. I think we need another... We need like another Abrade or Bitter Triumph off the top here. 10 ships is pretty tough to beat. Summon Brynhildr. Play the Summon Brynhildr. Ten ships, huh? Luis. Okay. So we swing Tursa FOMO. We hit an Abrade off Tursa. Ten ships, 40 power. We hit an Abrade off Tursa. We just gotta... there's probably no way we win, but let's just play to our outs, I suppose. I don't necessarily think this is an out, but if there's a line that like gets us there, I think it involves just starting with Tursa, getting kind of lucky here. They blocked Tursa with 2 ships. They probably should have blocked her with all of the ships. Mountain Port. Now we need to get lucky here and draw a... Do we have a Burst Lightning in our graveyard? We have to hit the Burst Lightning to deal 2 damage to this last ship here, and that'll put them at 7 ships, and they won't be able to kill us on our turn. On their turn. So we have to swing here with Tursa. I guess there's not much of a reason to swing with the FOMO. Swing with the Tursa. Hope we hit Burst Lightning to kill this last airship. What did we hit? Huh? Oh, we hit this Qarsi Revenant. Okay. All right. Good games. that was tough. That was tough. Yeah, pretty good against us. Not really something we prepared for in our sideboard or anything. GG's, well played. Cool list. Always excited to see more airship stuff. Off to match number 2. Sweet list. Played very nicely against what we were trying to do. I'm not sure that it's necessarily incredible in the meta, but maybe they have some cool tech that I'm not aware of. Phoenix Fleet Airship in general seems quite strong. So they get a lot of points for that, and having the Beseeches makes it so easy to trigger. We've done that in some previous videos. Moving on to match number 2. Looks like a pretty solid hand. Lands and spells. Bitter Triumph, good draw. Good draw. We'll put our first FOMO in the graveyard. Badgermole Cub. I'm going to put them on the combo deck. It's a pretty sweet list. think I'm going to lead on my FOMO here. I'm going to hold the Bitter Triumph to stop their combo. I think I'm going to get rid of the Qarsi Revenant. Maple, you okay? My dog over there hacking up a lung. Qarsi seems decent, but it's a good target for our Desecrex. Doubt they can combo off next turn. Let's just play our Overlord. And then we'll go into the next turn with access to Bitter Triumph, Mayhem the Desecrex. Grab the Gear Hulk. Could be interesting. Maybe we surveil a Jecht into the graveyard here. You know, I'll take a Swamp. We have the Gear Hulk in hand, gets us up to 5 mana. They're not doing anything particularly threatening right now other than having access to 1,000,000 mana. Archdruid's Charm. I have a feeling we might... I mean, there's just a chance we're dead here, I suppose. They still need a few things to go right. Sweet deck. Okay, there's their Bloodghast. Now, they don't have access to a whole lot of black mana. Okay. But they still can't cast Beifong's Bounty Hunters. Doing some surveilling. We have 2 Bitter Triumphs in hand. Not feeling too bad about that. Kind of surprised they didn't leave the Overlord on top. I guess they're just trying to dig for Nature's Rhythm in the graveyard, but actually I don't think that does it for them. They don't have a 4-power creature with which they can harmonize. So they do get 1,000,000 surveils, which is pretty sweet. I like this combo. It seems pretty good. I mean, graveyard-oriented creature combos are inherently a little fragile, though. Go ahead and play our Swamp. I guess we can play the Soulstone Sanctuary. Let's just hold up removal. Don't need to do anything silly here. I guess we could just kill the Umbral Caller Zealot and... Desecrex. I'm just going to kill this right now. Keep them from surveilling even more. And they have 1 card in hand. They're not looking too good here. Another Bloodghast. Okay, probably the best possible for us. I don't think we care about that at all. Strategic Betrayal kind of huge. Could just get a big Gear Hulk on the field. Kind of like that. Could just take them off of Umbral Caller Zealot in the graveyard. But I think I'd rather Qarsi Revenant swing a couple times. They need a lot to go right here to just outright win, I think. Not sure that they really can. Block a Bloodghast. No problem. FOMO plus Gear Hulk is lethal if they sacrifice a Badgermole, which they won't. I guess we could... I guess we just play Tursa. We can Bitter Triumph a Badgermole Cub. Swing with Tursa, Gear Hulk. Yeah, this should be lethal. Nope, we'll keep those. 5/4 menace. They have to block. One of these. Bloodghast can't block. Nice. Sweet. Okay. Let's bring in our graveyard hate. Let us bring in Day of the Black Suns. Pretty good against them, I think. Probably don't need duress. Probably can go down. I guess we just want all of the instant speed removal. Probably go down a couple Luis. Maybe cut a Jecht. Maybe cut a Qarsi Revenant and a Slasher. Slasher doesn't seem that good. Make a lot of little guys that they can probably just chump the Slasher with over and over. If you're watching this video right now, what are you bringing to F&M this weekend? You go to your standard F&M? I'm assuming you like standard if you're watching this video. And I'm assuming if you like standard, you're going to play in person. I guess that's not always true. Arena's pretty easy to access. I don't think we need the FOMO, and it gives us a target for our Overlord, like a guaranteed creature hit. Might just Strategic Betrayal, unless they have Badgermole Cub. Redder's Insight. Double Bayfog and Bounty Hunters, kind of sweet. Okay, I think we just have to get a Soul Guide Lantern on the field. Feel pretty okay about that. Let's take them off of another Bayfong. Play a tapped land. Have access to 3 mana next turn. I'm gonna bring a green-white creature vehicles it's a mount vehicles green-white aggro list featuring that like Happer. It's one of the first videos I made, except it's like the version 1 of it where I'm playing district mascots. Excited to sleeve that up. I bought all of the like alternate art Aether Drift cards for that deck that look like really like crazy graffiti art almost. Suppose we could just cast a strategic. I guess we just play an Overlord here. They can't win through Soul Guide Lantern. Might as well get this on the field. I think I like the Kulstoke Gearhulk. Maybe not quite yet. Let's go with the FOMO. A little more mana flexible. Guess we could play a second Soul Guide Lantern. That's probably not the worst idea. Just kind of guarantee that they can't combo unless they have like Maelstrom Pulse, but I don't think anyone plays that card other than me. Ice Till, pretty sweet. I don't think we need to rip a Soul Guide Lantern here yet, though. I think this is how I would build the deck, too. I would definitely play Ice Tills. It makes you a little more vulnerable to graveyard hate, I suppose, but, like, it's just so good at filling up your graveyard. One other thing I think I would play, too, I've been noodling on this deck. Umbra Caller Zealot is the only, like, really good sacrifice outlet for this deck, I think. But if you play Agatha Soul Cauldron, you can copy its ability onto anything, and Agatha's also plays really nicely with Badgermole Cub because of and Bayfong's Bounty Hunters, because they just like make creatures with counters that you can do busted stuff with. And I was like, okay, what's another good like active situation that pays all of this off? And Judy might be another interesting choice for all of that. I think I gotta go Strategic Betrayal. They'll just give up the elf here. Take them off their graveyard. Yeah, I got so much graveyard hate, buddy. Sorry. I think I'm just gonna pass here. Hold up the burst lightning, hold up the lanterns. Probably just gonna burst lightning the collar zealot in response to them casting a Beifong's bounty hunters. Overlord. Okay. We'll wait on this and then burst lightning. Oh. Okay, with this trigger on the stack, I'm gonna exile their graveyard. Keep them off of more. Do I actually even care about more land drops for them here? No. I don't care. You can hit your land drops. That's a little annoying into my strategic betrayal. Burst lightning the zealot. They might just win the fair beatdown plan here. I think I'm going to give up one of my Soul God Lanterns. See some more options. Summon Brynhildr is pretty good. Let's go summon Brynhildr. Deskrex. Okay. Let's play a FOMO and discard this Jecht, I think. No, we want the Jecht. I suppose we discard a strategic betrayal. Not that great right now with all of their extra little dorks on the field. They're milling. They hit a Nature's Rhythm. I'm going to exile their graveyard here. I guess they could just have it in response to me exiling their graveyard. They have the Beifong's Bounty Hunters. They have a desert. They have enough mana to cast it all. Actually, they don't have enough black mana right now. So I'm going to keep them off of it right now here. In a way. This could be wrong. But I can't let them cast the Nature's Rhythm, basically. They could hit it right here. Bloodghast land? Nope. Okay. Pretty tough for us to deal with this. Maybe if we had Leyline of the Void. Could use a Day of Black Sun from downtown here. Or another Soul Guide Lantern. I mean, that would probably... Oh, there's their land. Okay. They got it. If you don't know, they like bring back the Bloodghast, use their desert to do infinite pings with the Beifong Bounty Hunters. Kind of tough. Maybe I let the Ice Explorer get a little too out of control. I think I like our sideboard plan. Maybe we just want the Qarsi Revenant as like a source of consistent flying damage here. Maybe we bring in a Luis. Overlord's a little slow. A Braid's not awful. Helps clear up elves. Try something like that, maybe. Removal City. Okay, we have the combo. I think we just need to hit lands here. Burst Lightning's nice, but just need to hit lands. Okay, there's one land. Let's go with the FOMO first. dump this strategic betrayal. They go Badgermole Cub, the betrayal's pretty poor. Play Brynhildr. Hit a land. Swing for 2. They have access to 4 mana here. They kind of need a lot to go right for them to be able to combo me in the next 2 turns. So I think I'm probably just going to go Hasty Jecht. Here's an Overlord. They hit a Bloodgat. Okay, they're pretty close to their combo, actually. They're missing black mana. Well, I guess maybe they're not. Okay, that's a good draw. So we just do that. And we don't think too much about it. And then we can just Hasty Jecht next turn. I think I braid this Cub now. Keep them off of big mana. Swing in. And then if they go Ice Till Explorer, like they tap out for Ice Till Explorer, I get to pretty much guaranteed hit them with Jecht. Umbral Caller Zealot. Double green, not a whole lot they can do with that. This Brynhildr dying is going to... They ping me with a desert. Get a surveil going. Trying to hit Bloodgast. It's going to turn on my Delirium, which is nice. Unfortunately, I can't swing twice with Jecht here. Because, well, I guess I could. I may exile it, then return it to the battlefield transformed. So I could. This maximizes my damage here. Decline, and then hit them again. Yeah, that's pretty good. Put them to 4. Now they're in Luis range. Get to flip the Jecht. Untaps also. Pretty relevant. Big 7/7 blocker. Gives them a discard. Soul Guide Lantern on the field probably means I'm doing A-okay. Rakdos midrange. 1-1 overall. Wow. That happened pretty quickly, huh? They're suddenly at 4. And we have our Braska's Final Aeon on the field. Looks sweet. The art is sweet. You realize the scale of this thing when you see that the characters, like the presumably heroes, are standing on a little platform at the bottom left. So this boy huge. Fabled Passage. Umbral Caller Zealot. Nice. Hasty Jecht. Sweet. We did it. We did it. 1-1. Feeling good. Feeling good. Fun deck. Not much more I love than swinging and flipping the Jecht. It's kind of sweet. Kind of sweet. If you haven't done it, check it out, because it's kind of sweet. And it gives this, like, almost unfair element to decks, to like an archetype that classically is just like the fairest of fair. Got the combo. It doesn't just win the game, but a lot of the times it just wins the game, you know? Especially if you get to untap with it. Got the combo. Decent mana. Could just draw some... I don't know, I think I'd like to see some removal. round things out nicely here. Opponent's mulliganing. Okay, opponent decided to keep 6. Lead on a mountain. Go swamp. Play our saga. Y'all remember Abbot of Carol Keep? This is that, but also it gives your stuff haste. I guess it doesn't have prowess, and it does die, like it kills itself, but it's pretty sweet. Oh, is this the 5-color allies list? Yo, nice. I've not played against this deck yet. Kind of excited to see it. Seems like it might be tough to deal with this guy. Gonna keep my Brynhildr around. I'm just gonna shock them in the face. Because I'm just gonna tap out next turn anyway. For sure go for Jecht. For sure. Even though they might ang me, but like, for sure going for Jecht. Alright. Make them have it. They probably do. Yeah. Cool art. Might have some trouble with this deck. Just a big mid-range, like, creature pile. I have a lot of removal, but they have a lot of creatures, you know. Day of Black Sun should be good out of the sideboard. Swing it in. Tursa. Tursa's pretty nice here. Lets me mayhem the Descrex. Sets up another hasty Jecht. Great draw, actually. Yeah, sweet. Bring back Brynhildr. Oh, it's Value Town, baby. Yeah, let's swing in. I don't care if they block. It's Value Town, baby. Who does infinite creature stuff now? I do's. Hakoda, Selfless Commander. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast ally spells from the top of your library. Sacrifice Hakoda. Creatures you control get 0/5 and indestructible. Sweet. Hopefully I draw a land here. Get to go Betrayal, Jecht, FOMO. Sleepy Ang? What's he up to? This guy's really pimped out their deck. How much does it cost to do this? Like on Arena? How much does it cost to buy all these cosmetics? I genuinely have no idea. Never looked into it. Land. Okay, gonna lead on Strategic Betrayal here. I have to swing with Brynhildr. They probably just give up like the Earth and Ally. I don't know if they care that much. Ang's gonna transform. Play a land. Play Jecht. Not a whole lot I can do with Jecht. He will just get double blocked. But at least I get to kill one of their guys. Play FOMO. For the value. Keep Luis around. Nice. That went well. Got to swing here, so... If I swing out, they get a pretty good Hakoda sacrifice. Although... They don't really, because they have to double block Jecht. Yeah, they don't really get a good Hakoda sacrifice if I swing out. And if they don't block Jecht, I think I'm feeling pretty good. Earthbend, double trigger allies, kind of sweet. Yeah, this makes sense to me. Oh. They didn't sacrifice Hakoda. Okay. I thought for sure they would. I guess it makes sense not to. Yeah. Double ally triggers. Yuck. Bring in Day of the Black Sun. Bring in Duress. Just kidding. Bring in... A lot of their creatures have 3 toughness. I'm not sure that the Burst Lightning's that good against them. Take out the Strategic Betrayal. Bring in the Abrades. Take out... Go down on the Jecht a little bit. Slasher seems pretty good. Qarsi Revenant seems pretty good. Go down a Burst Lightning. Go down a Luis, because it's a little slow. Maybe. Try it like that. Seems tough. Seems pretty tough. They get to garner quite a lot of card advantage from Hakoda. Play out their board pretty quickly. Probably just got to deal with... Okay. Gonna keep this. Day of the Black Sun seems really important. Hopefully hit our land drops with Summon Brynhildr. Lead on a swamp here. Earth and Ally. They're probably just not playing removal. I doubt they have any removal in their deck. Sweet. Need that land. Get our Qarsi Revenant online. Seems pretty good. Great Divide Guide. Cool. Another Blazemire Verge is really good. So we get to start swinging with the Qarsi Revenant and then threaten Day of Black Sun for 2 next turn. Probably cleans up quite a lot. I have no idea what they're doing. I have no idea what these cards are. Allies at last. Affinity for allies, of course, of course. Seems really good. 1 mana. Pretty much guaranteed removal when you have all creatures in your deck. If they tap out and play a couple 2-drops, I'm definitely Day of Black Sun, but if they don't, there's maybe a consideration of Descrix? Okay. I gotta ranch their board. Oh yeah, baby. Keep them coming. Yeah, I'm just gonna wipe the board anyway, so I might as well block. Whee! Might just fully cast a Baelmerk here, and then set up, maybe we can get a Jecht in our graveyard for Colstoke Gearhulk. To Aang this, it's pretty solid for me still. Grab the Brynhildr. Pretty much always want to grab Brynhildr, I think. Keeps everything flowing. Invasion allies. Invasion reinforcements. Coda. Dees. Another Day of Black Sun. Hell yeah. I guess we just rip it. Keep them off of Hakoda. Get to swing in with our Overlord. I'm unfamiliar with the matchup, but we are prepared for the matchup. Got our little Day of Black Suns going here. Seems really good. Run it back. Run it back. Relying on Day of Black Sun. I wouldn't necessarily go so far as to mulligan for it if our opener looks solid enough. but I think it's like make or break that we draw it. It's kind of the only way I think that we can recoup any sort of advantage. Three lands. Day of Black Sun, Day of Black Sun. No. Can mulligan this. It's fine. It's not great. Get rid of the Gear Hulk here. Gonna lead on the theater. I'm gonna take the Abrade so we can answer the Mountain Guide. Pretty sure I just have to shock this. Maybe a better use of our mana if we... I guess I'm just gonna pass. I might want to Abrade it. Bara. Okay, well, I'm gonna shock this then, and then I can Abrade Katara. Play around Aang here. Probably playing Tursa next turn so that we can get Wartime Protesters, Hasty Allies. Sweet. I think I'm gonna play the Overlord here. Sets up our Desecrex a lot better. I'm gonna leave the Jecht in the graveyard for the Coalstoke Gear Hulk. Wartime Protesters could be pretty scary if they have a good follow-up. Like Aang at the Crossroads probably pretty much just kills us. I'm in Brynhildr. So we can go Tursa, discard Summon Brynhildr, discard Desecrex, probably hit an untapped land, Mayhem the Desecrex back. Yep. Just like we drew it up, boys. Just gonna go for this now because I only have one target. I don't want to like accidentally... I don't want to swing with Tursa and then have her trigger... There's like nothing good I could really hit, basically. That's better than just Mayheming right now. Little slasher off the top. If I swing, they get to block and kill Tursa with 3 mana Aang. If that's what they have, or Appa. Okay, good thing I didn't swing. Airbend the Protesters, interesting. Threatening Hasty Jecht with Hasty Coalstoke Gear Hulk. Depends on how frosty they want to get here. Kind of want them to swing with the Wartime Protesters. Okay, they swing out, which is probably not right. Do it. Do it, coward. Okay, yes. Yes. Okay, it's probably not right. Just gonna give up my board. Hit them with a Hasty Jecht / Gear Hulk. Threatens quite a lot of damage here. I have to swing with the Summon Brynhildr, but that's okay. Yeah, I think they kind of goofed. They probably shouldn't have made that attack. They were not properly assessing the board state, perhaps. I guess they didn't know I had a Gear Hulk in my hand, but they have definitely seen it in my deck. We get to Oh yeah, baby. We get to draw. They have to discard. We get to keep Vraska's final Aeon around. Not much that they could do here. We have removal for Appa. We get to force lethal, so they're gonna have to. Okay, so we win. I guess they shouldn't have. Oh, they can make a 1/1 ally creature token. Hmm. We can kill the token and Desecrex Tursa. For lethal? Sweet. I'm gonna even pay 3 life, because it's funny. I guess I could have mayhemed. GG. Fun match. 2-1 overall. Showing off the power, the flexibility of our cards. Infinite advantage, like card advantage, basically, if they never interact with our graveyard, which our opponent chose not to do. They have the black ally that's actually really nasty against graveyard decks, right? I wonder if they're on that. I've seen the list once or twice, but I've never really taken a good look at it because it's like it's allies, you know, so it's like okay, not much intrigue going on there. Fun match, fun match. I think, like I said, I think they had the advantage there, and they kind of threw it away with that last attack. But we'll take it. 2-1. Decent hand. Jecht looks a little poor without the haste enabler. But lands and spells. Luis is quite flexible. Very rarely does Jecht survive and connect if you just cast it. So it's almost always better to wait until you have like the right opportunity. And there's our Brynhildr. I might just lead on Luis on 2 mana. Just a 2/1 lifelink. Get some attacks in maybe. Maybe they remove it. Clear the way for my Brynhildr. Terramorphic expands into planes. What could that possibly be? Tifa. Oh, okay. Land. Oh, the landfall deck. I see. Is it crazy to go for it? Can they just... I guess I just killed the Tifa. I'm not gonna... Maybe I just hold back Luis as a blocker. I'm just gonna play the Restless Fence and pass. I don't know. I mean, obviously they could have protection, but maybe they like go for like a Shelter by Ghosts fetch play here. Bristly Bill. Yeah, I'll just kill Tifa right now then. I was holding up the Bitter Triumph in case they had like Shelter by Ghosts or the Hydra. The Hydra is much scarier than Tifa for me. I wanted to kill the Tifa there in response to the Bristly Bill because in case they like have untapped forest and can represent Snakeskin Veil, I'd rather just ensure that Tifa dies. Bill can get big, but it doesn't have trample. Probably not right to fetch right away. Go ahead and cast Summon Brynhildr. Qarsi Revenant, kind of sweet. Play land. Pass it back to you. Maybe I just tap out for Jecht there. Maybe that's like the one spot where you actually just tap out for Jecht, but filtered by ghosts. On Luis. It's fine. They don't know what's coming. They can't possibly comprehend what's coming. So we get to hit them with Jecht. Leave back Brynhildr as a blocker. And then on the next turn, cast our Qarsi Revenant. / another summon Brynhildr for more blocks. Probably manage to find a way to deal with Bill in the next several cards. Strategic Betrayal could be a good draw. Flip the Jecht. Make you discard, I draw. Also, if Jecht, like, just lives, like, flipped Jecht just lives for a couple more turns, they have to sacrifice 2 creatures. Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. Aloe Alchemist, Trample coming in. Doing all their actions real quick, like, because they have... Oh, they see the line. They see the line. They're putting counters on Bristly Bill. I block. Do they have a 1-mana source of extra damage? Pretty sure I want to keep this around. They could Snakeskin Veil, give it 11 power, but I live at 1. Okay. Can't cast the Qarsi Revenant, but that's okay. Just more important to keep this on the field, I think. Ooh, piece of candy. Probably best to go lead on this summon Brynhildr. It'll land. And then we can play Desecrex. It'll land. And then I suppose we have to leave back Vraska's final Aeon in case they have a source of trample. Otherwise, they're going to have to exile some creatures. And then we get to like swing with a hasty Overlord. Ice Till. Land drops. Pretty cool. Oh, they get to set up their unblockable Chocobo. Okay, cool. Good game. Good game. Probably against this iteration, a couple Soul Guide Lanterns seems okay. Day of Black Sun seems really good. Burst Lightning is fine. I like the Strategic Betrayals here. Almost had it. Almost had it. Go down to Luis. I like all of our low to the ground stuff. Maybe Desecrex is a little too much. Maybe cut a couple Overlords. And maybe the Coalstoke is not necessarily. Keep the Overlords. I like that. Just try to remove their stuff. I like this. I like the Strategic Betrayal. I'm going to hold the Soul Guide Lantern. Just hit like the first fetch that they play, I guess. Make their Ice Tills a little worse. Okay, after a long pause, opponent decided to keep 7. Lead on a swamp here. Day of Black Sun. I like it. Let's just go for our early Luis play again. I think that makes sense to me. Not doing a whole lot. Could use a couple lands. But if they offer like a Saz's Chocobo trade, I think I would take it. Paw Patch. One lander? Nope. That'd be crazy. Fetching. Might just cycle the Soul Guide Lantern. Try to draw into another land. Dave Black Sun for 1. Kinda looks nasty. And then that opens Strategic Betrayal on a Hydra. I kinda like that. Keep them from getting too crazy. Take a quick 2 for 1. There's the Hydra. Could just play a Qarsi Revenant. Qarsi Revenant plus Soul Guide Lantern. Keep them off of Ice Till being crazy. But if I don't Strategic Betrayal this now, it could just, like, kill me. Could be a problem. I guess we'll lead on the Soul Guide Lantern. I'm gonna play the Qarsi Revenant. I think I like that better. I can manage their graveyard. Qarsi Revenant, worst comes to worst, can just block the Hydra. And then if they have like Sheltered by Ghosts on my Revenant, I'm like super winning in all of that. Say they have Sheltered by Ghosts plus Snakeskin Veil rather than Ice Till. Okay. It would not be ideal if they play like a Dinker, like a little dinky Paw Patch Recruit or something. But they're probably going to actually just hold up Snakeskin Veil, which means Strategic Betrayal. It means all of this plays out really nicely for me, basically. Actually, Strategic Betrayal. Nice. I think we can afford to wait on... I might as well just cycle the Soul Guide Lantern now. Play our land. Another Revenant's good. Keeping our life total pretty healthy here. Might just play the Jecht next turn. Use Social Engineering. Cool. I've tried to mess with this card a little bit. Seems decent in this position. Not incredible, but not bad. Would really go crazy with an Ice Till. Could use another Soul Guide Lantern, I think. I guess I give up Luis. Hope they block, and then maybe they think I have another Luis and they won't block. I don't know. I want to get my Jecht on the field. Qarsi Revenant, another way to like give evasion to Jecht. help him connect. Probably just better to play the Qarsi Revenant. I'm going to hold the land in case we draw a Tursa. Top hatch. Sheltered by ghosts. Fair enough. FOMO. Okay, so we get to go swing for 3 in the air. Play Jecht, play FOMO. Pretty good. Another land. Not the best. They don't have a whole lot of action. They might just tap out for this social engineering. Causes Chocobo. Don't care about that too much. Mossborn Hydra. Care about that a little, but all of this is tiny, tiny baby stuff right now, so there's a lot of tiny babies on their field. Could use a Day of Black Sun, would wrap this up real nice. Just a bunch of little babies. No sweat. Qarsi Revenant getting in. Tursa, nice. Get rid of this mountain here. Another mountain. Rewarded with another mountain. We swing in with Jecht. They don't have, like, incredible blocks. I kind of think we get to just swing in with everything. Kind of force the issue here. You're going to give me a Qarsi Revenant back in this position? They need to go, like, they need to rip an Ice Tail off the top, basically, to have any kind of chance here. They're letting Jecht connect. Draw, shock, and kill you? They're letting Jecht connect. Maybe they don't realize it also gets to block here? Oh, Day of Black Sun. That ought to do it. Pretty sure even Ice Tail doesn't win. They get 4 land drops off an Ice Tail. Double to 2, double to 4, double to 8, double to 16. All right. Should be moving on to game 2. Opponent's thinking long and hard, so just going to pause this in the edit. Opponent has used 2 timeouts. If you do this out here, maybe they all F forward and just close out the game. They're up a game in, you know, we're going to like game 3 of a match, so I don't know why they would do that. So if you do this out here to people, I don't really understand you. Just tune in back in to say that real quick. It is now our turn. Assuming our opponent just Alt F forward. Okay. I'll take it. 3-1. I'll take it. I mean, we won a game, you know. Doesn't feel like a great win. Not necessarily guaranteed to win game 3, but 3-1 feels good for the deck. Day of Black Sun is a really, really good card right now, I think. Cave Dan from the Ignacio. I play against Ignacio all the time. Cave Dan from the Faithless Brewing podcast is pretty high on Dave Blacksun in his Ice Till lists. Seems very strong against these go wide strategies as a way to clean up the board in black. That you cast it for 4 mana, right? X equals 2. Black doesn't otherwise have great removal options at great board wipes at 4. There's the Descend one that counts the number of permanents in your graveyard, but I like the flexibility of Day of Black Sun because it gets through Indestructible, which is relevant against the allies list, and Hakoda, etc., etc. Kills through Overprotect. Quite flexible. Gonna keep the land on top. Keeping this hand, solid hand. Opponent leads on Multiversal Passage on blue. Hopefully this is probably blue-red grandmothers. I'm just gonna go with the Overlord here. I think if I get anything quenched, I'd prefer it's this. It'll quench you. It'll quench you. It's the quenchiest. Drink cactus juice. Nothing's quenchier. It's the quenchiest. Great card. Great card. Because we're hitting our land drops, I think I'm just gonna go for the Qarsi Revenant here. Also could get quenched. That's just life. Can't live our lives in fear of quench. And then next turn we get to go Brynhildr, hopefully hit a land over the course of the next 2 hits, and then additional Brynhildr. Astrologian's Planisphere. Okay. Lead on the Brynhildr here. Burst Lightning, nice. Hitcha. Maybe I just Strategic Betrayal here. Keep them off of... I like that. Keep them off of grandmother shenanigans. Get the lessons out of their graveyard. Probably doesn't get much better than in that exact moment, so kind of happy to fire off the Betrayal. If I hit a land, I might just go Hasty Luis. Could be good. 5/4, haste, lifelink. I think I do. I think I just do. Seems pretty tough for them to deal with this. I've never done this before in my life, and I love it. We go up to 34. Okay. 4 to 34. Opponent quenched us. Quenched our Gear Hulk. They're stumbling a little bit. Grand's on the field. We get to Coalstoke Gear Hulk. Actually, we just get to Burst Lightning in their face, I guess. Not much they can do about that. From downtown. Game 1 in the books. Oh, wow. Hasty Siege Rhino, huh? You kind of gotta love it. Let's go Soul Guide Lanterns. It's important to keep them off of Accumulate Wisdom, I think. Day of Black Sun cleans up their big token openers very nicely. Bitter Triumph is probably a little too overkill. I like the Strategic Betrayal. I think Duress is pretty solid too. A lot of their... it just helps answer the Planispheres and the Storm Chasers talents before they're able to get them on the field. Probably go down. Probably cut a couple Overlords. I think the Jecht plan can be okay. I believe they have access to exile-based removal. I think the lesson card exiles. I don't know the names of any of these cards really yet, other than Accumulate Wisdom. The 2 mana counts your lessons in your graveyard. deals that much damage, +2, I think. I think that has an exile clause. But let's just cut the slashers. And then maybe we only want 2 Day of Black Sun. It's like not that good against what they're doing, but it's pretty decent. I wonder if they're like boarding into like Quantum Riddlers. Could be tough to deal with post board with all of the. I'm gonna keep this a little slow, maybe. There's my grandmother. Play Raucous Theater. Keep the land on top. I like that. Let's start doing some action. Planisphere. It's easy to imagine a world where they're like Odorlescent. They're discarding a Boomerang basic, so maybe they don't have Storm Chaser's talent if they're discarding Boomerang basics. I was gonna say it's easy to imagine a world where they're like Storm Chasers, Boomerang basics, Storm Chasers, and then Day of Black Sun cleans that up all pretty nicely. I guess I'd rather just present a blocker so they are less able to freely trigger Grandmother. Get rid of a Gear Hulk for now. Maybe we get rid of the Qarsi Revenant. Desecrax, aka Carnage, another pretty sweet target for Coalstoke Gear Hulk. Kind of just like leads into this cascade of getting a bunch of stuff back. Assuming you have things in your graveyard. Passes. Probably has a quench. I think I'm okay with my summon Brynhildr getting quenched here. Essence Scatter. Fine. Totally fine. No attacks. I love this deck list. It is like such fair magic for the most part. My list, not theirs. I mean, theirs is fine too. But we get to make really good use of haste, really good use of our graveyard. Has some pretty explosive, unfair looking turns. I think we're just gonna play our Desecrax into Qarsi Revenant. This threatens a pretty good block for this next turn. I think that means that we're allowed to swing with FOMO. I guess I should have swung with FOMO first, but I think we're allowed to here. I'm not sure that they have like a shock or anything. And even if they do, works out fine for us. So now if they deal with Desecrax, we get to swing. Sorry, we get to swing with the Qarsi Revenant and return Desecrax with the Gear Hulk and bring back the Qarsi Revenant, because Carnage, aka Desecrax, brings... I hate saying Desecrax, so I'm just going to say Carnage. Carnage brings back the creature without a finality counter, so you can continue to recur it. Day of Black Sun, for one, looks really good here. Plays around Quench. I think I'm just going to do that. What do you think? Kind of nasty, right? Ooh, kind of nasty. Okay. Go ahead and swing in. Wow. Now that's a Day of Black Sun right there. Eddie Mert Crab. Love this guy. Got us. We have to swing with Qarsi Revenant, according to Carnage. I think we can afford to play Luis for 2 here. Continue to beat in next turn, and then eventually Luis from downtown. I would never do this if I didn't have the second Luis in hand. Grandma, Planisphere. You can just equip the second Planisphere. You don't have to pretend you have anything. I'm not going to play around anything, so no blocks. Let's play the theater first here in case we hit Jecht. Swamp. Definitely just going to play the Gear Hulk. Oh, Swamp is huge, actually. Gives us Delirium. Nice. Just going to get my Qarsi Revenant. Swing with it a couple times. Keep my Delirium online. They have something, perhaps. Combustion technique on FOMO. Okay. Nice. Swing it in. Ooh, hasty Jecht. I think we just swing in here and cast a big Luis. That should be enough to close out the game. Even if they block. Yeah, they can't really block profitably, assuming they have like a land in their hand. Okay, kick a firebending lesson. Now they get to block profitably. If we Luis for 4, put them to 4, it becomes big enough to block Grand, keeps them off of a discard. And then they're dead to Burst Lightning. I think I like that better than Jecht. Equip the Planisphere. Play another one. Trigger Grand. Now what? They can swing with Grand, but it doesn't get them particularly far. Swing with the Crab. No blocks. If I draw removal, I'll just kill Grand and then put the game into a pretty good position for me here. I suppose I get to freely swing with the Restless Fence. Force them to block Luis. But I think I'd rather just play Jecht here. And then come in with 2 Menace attackers next turn. Letting them untap again feels bad, but I'm not sure that hitting them with Restless Fence is necessarily a game-winning line. We could hit an Overlord, bring back our Luis, get him again. They drew a land. We're looking good. Hopefully they don't have a real card. Equip the Planisphere. Swing in for 5. Not gonna block. Not much of a reason to quite yet. Overlord. So that means we get to go land, Overlord, Luis for 3. Guess I swing. Right now, if they have a land, they can't beat this. And if they have Quench, they can't beat this, because I can just Luis for 1. Looks like they have removal for Jecht. Removal for Jecht. Okay. Their stuff gets big. So I'm just going to play Overlord as a creature then. Right? 1, 2. Yeah, I'm just going to play the Overlord as a creature. And then get back Luis here. And then make them have something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I play this land and draw another land, we can play around Quench. If they go Accumulate Wisdom here, I could just die. That's not what they have. They're going to draw and discard. Maybe they should have, like, gone with both anyway. And try to just play to their outs of drawing Accumulate Wisdom. Teeming Sauna. I don't think that will be enough. And we'll wrap this up with a nice 4-1. Okay, good runnings. Fun deck. Not really sure that they can have anything here. GG's, Ignacio. Good to see you again. Good luck on the ladder out there. All right, great run. Not much to say. I think we looked pretty solid. Relevant removal. Dave Black's on the other side looked really good. I think our synergies were pretty apparent and obvious. You can see there these, like, FOMO is really easy to turn on. The haste from Summon Brynhildr and the constant, like, generation of value that it provides, along with being able to bring it back with Carnage. We never did anything with an Unstoppable Slasher in any of those matches. Important to note, but I think it's a relevant card in some matchups, so you could call it a flex spot, I suppose. Tursa played really nicely. I think there aren't too many decks that out there that really capitalize on Tursa's ability to generate card advantage, and I think this is a really good one for that. It's really easy to get your graveyard up to 7, like turn on your threshold with Overlord of the Belmerk and all of this discarding that we're doing. Played really nicely. Really happy with the 4-1. Yeah, if you have any comments, questions, any suggestions for this list, it's one that I'm going to keep around and maybe break out again in the future. Hasty Jecht, not always a great meta call, Jecht himself, but if he connects and people don't expect him, which they don't really right now, he can win games, and we saw that. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out my videos, posting daily standard content. Hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.